Anupa, are you there?
Hello, Mohandas.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Mohandas.
Yes.
Just കുറച്ച് ലേറ്റ് ആയില്ലേ? റിയാസ് വിളിച്ചിരുന്നില്ല, കുറച്ചു നേരം സംസാരിച്ച് ആ കറക്റ്റ് ടൈമിന്.
Dr. Nair.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Your staircase and
Good
my
evening.
staircase, my house is same.
Can we start, sir?
Yes, yes, sir.
Anupa?
Good evening, respected doctors. On this beautiful evening, myself, Dr. Anupa, is pleased to welcome each and every one of you to this webinar on introducing sexuality to teenagers. Why, how, when, and where. And indeed, I'm sure that Dr. Tuteja sir will tell us about what as well. First of all, I would like to welcome Dr. Mohandas Nair, President IAP Kozhikode, for the welcome address.
Good evening, senior colleagues and dear friends. Today, as part of the webinar series by Adolescent Health Academy, IAP Kerala, and IAP Kozhikode, as part of the webinar series, Meet the Stalwarts. Today, we are having a very important topic, that is introducing sexuality to teenagers. Why, how, when, and where. This topic is of particular very much important in the current scenario, especially in Kerala, because our curriculum is being modified and lot of discussions are happening every day on this topic. And there are a lot of controversies also. So, and again, as part of the presidential action plan for the next year, we are trying to bring out a module on this topic. And so we are considering this topic as of utmost importance. And to discuss on this topic, we are having Dr. J.S. Tuteja sir, who is the past chairperson of National Chairperson of Adolescent Health Academy, and one of the senior most adolescent consultant in India. And I would like to welcome Tuteja sir to this gathering. And moderator of the session is Dr. T.P. Jayaraman, who is the immediate past president of IAP Kerala. Welcome, Jayaraman sir. And presidential address is by Dr. Shibu Kirakatra, who is the chairperson of Adolescent Health Academy Kerala. Welcome, Dr. And Dr. Vijay Kumar M. Is also here, who is the president IAP Kerala. Welcome, Dr. Vijay Kumar. And I would like to welcome Dr. Deep Pradhanan, who is secretary of Adolescent Health Academy Kerala. Dr. Saeed Sabik, who is the secretary of IAP Calicut. And senior faculties who have assembled here, especially Parvati Madam, Dr. Injit, Dr. Anupa, and all who have gathered this audience. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Shibu Kesar for the presidential address.
Thank you, Dr. Anupa. Respected J.S. Tuteja sir, respected my dear teachers, respected dignitaries on the platform, colleagues and friends. A very good evening and regards from IAP Kerala. First of all, I would like to thank IAP Calicut for conducting today's webinar series, Meet the Star Wars program. And today we have eminent speaker, none other than J.S. Tuteja sir. Sir is post-national chairperson IAP. And today's topic is introducing sexuality with teenagers, why, how, where, and when and where. As Mohandas sir said, it's a very relevant topic as far as adolescence is concerned. And I request all of you to support our IHA activities in future. And I request you to all to take IHA membership also. It's only 1,000 rupees for lifetime membership. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Dr. M. Vijay Kumar sir, President IAP Kerala, to address us.
Respected Dr. J.S. Tuteja sir, the past national chairperson of this program, past national chairperson of AHA, and the speaker of this program and moderator, Dr. T.P. Jaraman sir, the past state president of IAP, and Dr. Johnny Sebastian, state secretary of IAP, Dr. Mohandas Nair, my best friend, and IAP Calicut president, and Dr. Shibu, the president of AHA Kerala, Dr. Ranjit, national EP member of AHA, Dr. Deepa Janardhan, secretary of AHA Kerala, Dr. Sai Sabik, Purushothaman sir, Parvati madam, and my dear friends. Today we are having yet another webinar. It is conducted combined effort of AHA Kerala, IAP Kerala, and IAP Kozhikode. And the topic is, as Dr. Mohandas and Shibu told, very relevant nowadays in Kerala education, the introduction of sexuality to teenagers. And none other than Dr. Tuteja sir is presenting the topic. I wish the program all success. Jai Hind and JAP.
Thank you, Vijay Kumar sir. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Deepa Janardhanan ma'am, who will introduce us for to the moderator for our session, Dr. T.P. Jayaraman sir.
Respected seniors, dignitaries, and delegates, it's indeed a matter of pride and honor to introduce the chairman of today's session, Dr. T.P. Jayaraman. He's actually a person who doesn't require any introduction to the pediatricians of Kerala. So was the immediate past president, IAP Kerala. He's presently consultant pediatrician, Dane Diagnostics, Palakkad. So was South Zone coordinator for the program on poor scholastic performance by IAP in 2012. He's the convener, Committee on Learning Disability by IAP Kerala from 2012 to 2015. He's presently state coordinator for the program on early childhood development of IAP. He had been the faculty in national and state conferences in topics ranging from newborn to adolescence. Sir has been instrumental in starting an NGO by name Changadi, working to prevent adolescent suicides. Sir was a member Central IAP from 2013, 14, and in 2018, and he is the president-elect NNF Kerala 2022. We are extremely happy to have you, sir. Over to Jayaraman, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Deepa, for that introduction. And respected President of the meeting, Dr. Shibu Kirkatara, Dr. Vijay Kumar, President IAP Kerala, Chief Guest of the day, Dr. Tuteja ji, my good friend, Dr. Purushothaman, Dr. Johnny Sebastian, Dr. Ranjit, Dr. Deepa, Parvati madam, all the other dignitaries on the platform, Dr. Mohandas, Dr. Said Sabik. It's a privilege for me to moderate a session by none other than Dr. Tuteja, who is talking on one of his favorite topics also. I think I have heard him on one or two occasions on this topic, and I think no one is there to talk so well on this topic. Dr. Tuteja is known to all of us through the adolescence forum, that group which he formed and which he had been maintaining for the last several years very meticulously, and it shows his dedication towards adolescent health in India. Single-handedly, he has made it I think not a single day passes without reading a message by Tudeja ji on that forum. He was the past national president of Adolescent Health Academy of Indian Academy of Pediatrics 2012-2015. He was the chairperson of the Mission Kishore Uday program 2012, which was a very landmark program by Indian Academy of Pediatrics under the leadership of Dr. P. Bansal. Then he was the national convener of difficult adolescents in 2012, and he was honored by Union Health and Family Welfare Minister for that program. And he was national advisor for Mission Kishore Uday, the second version last year, mainly on suicide prevention. He was awarded the Dr. M.K.C. Nair oration in 2013. I think he was the first recipient of that oration by Indian Academy of Pediatrics, that AHA Kerala. And then also in both Saudi Bave M.K.C. Nair oration in 2020 by AHA India, and several other awards he had won. And he runs the Adolescent and Teen Wellness Center at Indore. I'm so happy to introduce Dr. Tudeja to this audience, and over to you, sir. Thank you for your time. Tudeja, you may start.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Should I start?
Yes, sir, please, sir.
Yes, you may start, sir.
Good evening to the all stalwarts of my final education in my life, that is from Kerala University. I'm so happy when I have been invited by the Kerala, because I remember my golden days of 60 years when I was there for many times with my adolescent guru M.K.C. Nair. I learned a lot from sir and from Kerala, and really whatever I am here, it is because due to M.K.C. sir only from Kerala. And rest, my all friends have given me small tips, including everybody from Kerala. So this topic very close to my heart, and I learned from M.K.C. sir about it when he was contesting for the presidentship and came to Indore, and he was talking about sexuality. That day I decided that something is there in this man, and which I can follow. Hello, which I can follow. And later on, when PGDAP started, I was in the first batch of PGDAP Kerala. So I really enjoyed, and I always enjoyed coming to Kerala many times. So this topic, talking sexuality in teenagers or introducing sexuality in teenager, why, how, when, and where, is very important. So a recent survey states the average age for losing virginity is 17. Is that so? Are teenagers getting sexually active even earlier? It has been surveyed. I still remember that when I was talking in one of the college of Bhopal in MP, when I asked students in college, what is the virginity? So one of the students told that it is a lack of opportunity. So the things are there that the children are losing virginity at the age of 17. So that is proved with the time. What is then sex? Sex refers to the set of biological attributes in humans and in animals. It is primarily associated with physical and physiological features, including chromosome, gene expression, hormone level, function, and reproductive or sexual anatomy. Sex is usually categorized as a female or male, but there is a variation in biological attributes that comprises sex and how those attributes are expressed. What is then gender? Very important thing. Gender refers to the socially constructed role, behavior, expression, and identities of girl, woman, boys, men, and gender diverse people. It influences how people perceive themselves as and each other, how they act and interact, and distribution of power and resources in the society. Gender identity is not confined to a binary, girl, woman, boy, man, nor is it static. It exists along the continuum and can change over time. There is a considerable diversity in how individuals and groups understand, experience, and express gender through the role. Then what is gender equality? Gender equality requires equal enjoyment by the woman and man of socially valued goods, opportunities, resources, and rewards. Where gender inequality exists, it is generally women and who are excluded or disadvantaged in religion, to decision making, and access to the economic and social resources. Men are mostly likely to have had their first sexual intercourse at the age of 20 to 24. For women, the peak age of first sex is lower at the 15 to 19 years. According to the data from the National Family Health Survey, shows here is the survey by shown in the net that 15 to 19 and 20 to 24, 15 to 19 in the girls and 20 to 24 in the male. Educational delays the sex. 20 to 24 year, when the children are studying, they delay in the sex is delayed by due to education, while from 15 to 19, the most who are not in the education, they are involved in 15 to 19 year. North Indian reported to have more active sex life compared to those in the South. In the North, it is 50 to 55%, while in the South, it is 30 to 35% to 40%. Birds, bees, and the young, 51% stop. What happened when reason why people don't approach sexual health doctors? 51% feel staff and doctors will be hostile or judgmental. 22% think medical procedure is not safe. 15% have privacy and confidentiality and concern. 3% are embraced at the needing or wanting reproductive health services. 9% fear that their parents or peer might learn their visit. Prevalence of STD in the country. 4.9% rise in the sexually transmitted diseases. NACO survey in 2011-12, 4% of youngsters suffered from STD and HIV. Sexuality among the Indian urban school adolescent. I start from the bottom. Source of sexual information, 74.9% from friends, 6.2% from teachers, 6% from mother, 57% from the media, and 4.5% from the doctors. So how much less as pediatrician, when the children are coming to us, how much less we are involved, in spite of the 2 decades have spent AHA in dealing with the adolescent. Sexual intercourse before the age of 20, 6.3% boys and 1.3% girls. Higher report of sexual contact, 30% in boys and 7.2% in girls. Lowered average age of initiation of sexual intercourse is at the 14 years in the male and 16 in the female. Average age of first sexual contact is 13.72 years, or we can say 14 years among boys and 14% years in the girls. What our IAP Joint Secretary from Bombay, Dr. Samir Dalwai says, we mistakenly take sex education for the intercourse education. Protection is an important aspect of it. Being hypocritical, ostriches won't help us. Need of sex education in India. NCRB started according to the case under POCSO Act 2012 only since 2014. According to NCRB data, the number of POCSO cases increased by more than 30% between 2016 and 2020. In 2019 and 20, more than 47,000 cases each were reported under this act. This translates to the daily average of 129 cases reported under POCSO. Between 2017 and 20, for each data is available, girls constituted 97.1% to 97.6% of victims each year, while boys constituted the remaining 2.3% to 2.8%. What? Sorry. NCRB report that those cases which FIR have been reported. Need of hour. It will decrease the negative hazards of sexual behavior like unwanted, unplanned pregnancy or infections. It will enhance the value of relationship and decision making with the opposite gender. It will eradicate the lack of knowledge and create right attitude in adolescents. 300 million youth from 12 to 24 are revealing their mounting preferences for premarital sex, which is increasing because of educational hub across the country, and the children are living in the hostels. Take care. 53% of children in India are sexually abused. 72% of these children do not talk about it and suffer in silence, has been shown in one of the TV shows. A majority of these children have been abused by the people known to them. 64% of incest survivors were abused between the age of 10 to 18 years. So this is a very crucial age from 10 to 18, and the parents need to take care of it. 87% of the incest survivors were abused repeatedly. We say the children, particularly the girls and boys, that when you are walking outside the house, take care. But we forget to tell them they need to take more care in the house, because the incest survivors are in their own houses. 19% of abused were currently living with at least one of the abuser, Indian adolescent. 0.5% teenagers get information from parents, while 67% get from the media, internet. As I have already told, 42% of the children got their first dose of sex-related information from 11 to 15 years. 6 Indian state survey shows premarital relationship by 15 years. Children are getting hooked to the pornography from class 9th onward. That again goes to 14 to 15 years onwards. Even in the school premises has become big issue from the school authority. It was again shown in one of the Delhi school that the children were abused by the teachers in the fresh room. Why sexuality education is important? Adolescents are exposed to a great deal of information from media or from their friends. They need to learn facts about human sexuality. Teenagers are hungry for the accurate and adequate information. Sexual expression is a basic instinct and need. 1/5 of the world population is from 10 to 19 years. Age of puberty has decreased because of the better nutrition available even to the girls in our country. Age of marriage has been increased because the children are more after the jobs, more with the occupied with the education. They face long gap between the two. So there is a big gap between education and the marriage ceremony. Young people indulge in sexual activity early in life, not aware of the consequences of their behavior. Sex education. Sex education as a broad program that aims to build a strong foundation for the lifelong sexual health. It can be acquiring information and attitude, beliefs and values about one identity, relationship, and intimacy. Psychological and socio-cultural influences in the delivery of this education can increase likelihood of effectiveness. Primarily, during adolescent 10 to 19 years, is a crucial preventive tool. It is opportunity time when young people experience developmental changes in their physiology and behavior as they enter in adulthood. And the parents at this time are very much concerned. Coming to my counseling session, they are very much concerned about the behavior during this period. The existence of strong stigma and controversy handicaps any existing adolescent health program. What is sexuality then? Development of sexuality is an important biopsychosocial development which takes an adult shape during this period. During adolescence, an individual thought, perception, as well as response get colored sexually. Puberty is an important landmark of sexuality development that occurs in adolescence. Understanding adolescent sexuality has an important clinical, legal, social, cultural, as well as educational implication. Adolescence can be broadly divided into three stages: early, middle, and late. During adolescence, the cognitive development takes place. Adolescent development, abstract thinking, and reasoning. Emotionally, they develop a sense of identity. During late adolescence, social involvement, peer interaction, as well as sexual interests develop in this phase. Developing countries in the recent decade are going through a rapid change due to urbanization, migration, education, and mixing of culture, which are having a definite impact on the attitude toward the sexuality and adolescent. Phases of psychosexual development. Phases of psychosexual development is the lifetime. Oral phase, birth to 18 months. Anal phase, 18 months to 3 years. Phallic phase, odopil phase, 3 to 5 years. Latency period, 5 years to puberty. Genital phase, puberty to till end of the life. Sexual feeling. Everyone has a sexual feeling. As they mature, they are sexually attracted to other people. Recognizing sexual feeling in which gatekeepers can help teenagers. You should be willing to discuss the power of sexual feeling and difference between feeling and doing. If the child is talking to about sexuality, definitely he is inquiring from you. That doesn't mean that he is involved in the sexual intercourse. Good time to talk. There is no magic number in the terms of age, but 9 to 12 years is the best time. But consider physical and psychosexual maturation of child. Body changes to be examined, explained. This is the excellent time for the gatekeepers to begin discussing about values and beliefs about issues such as dating, relation, wet dream, and premarital sex. They need reasonable amount of privacy and truth. Sexual feelings are stronger. They are less able to discuss issues straight forward is the better way to encourage them for talking. Behave and respect. Knowledge and equipment won't encourage teens and involve in premature sex relationship. Stay calm. Don't over-romanticize sex like blooming of roses, firework, supreme or spiritual. Don't scare your child. You will bleed. It hurts. It's terrible. Stress that no matter whatever happens, you are there for them. Facts and values. Facts and values. Facts are facts. Values are different from family to family. They want to know facts about sex and family values. Facts are facts for everyone. Values are different for different people from family to family depending on cultural heritage. Be honest, say what you believe, what you value. Don't say what you are not sure about. Motivate them to delay sex. Gatekeepers need to direct their teens towards sex empowering goals. Teach proper boundary. Should keep them busy with the schoolwork, games, volunteer, social, and spiritual work. Love and support. If the teenagers do not get love from their parents, they view sex as a way to get it. Best way to keep them away from peer pressure is to raise their self-esteem. Spiritual interconnectedness is associated with the lower likelihood of voluntary sexual activity. The children in our country going to the spiritual places are less involved in the sexual activity. That has been shown and the data are available. Building self-esteem. It is important. Building self-esteem. It is important. It has influence on their sexual development and making important decisions. Less likely to be under pressure for unwise choices. One should appreciate their talent, personality, looks, accomplishment without comparison. Treat them with the respect, listen their ideas and feelings, think about what they say. Don't cut them off when you disagree with them. Self-respect begins with the respect and consideration they receive from you and others. Responsible decision. Teens have a right to information that protect their reproductive and sexual health. They deserve to be treated with respect. With the information and support, they are capable of making responsible decisions. Talk to your child often and teach them when to say no. If we teach our children about safe, unsafe touch, they develop a sense of awareness about self, about having a choice. They learn the importance of consent and power it holds. They learn to say no when they get unforgettable. Boundaries. When children are made aware of boundaries, what they are essential, develop a sense of understanding for respecting and boundaries of others and how to protect themselves when it is violated. Follow their instinct. Awareness about good touch and a bad touch help kids to connect with their inner self and follow their gut instinct in situation. We teach them that they should learn to listen and believe in themselves rather than to go by what others tell them to do. Meaning of safety. Kids develop what the term safe means. What are the feelings associated with the safety and how can they differentiate between unsafe and safe feeling. It is learning about unsafe and safe touch. Kids develop a greater sense of safety. Awareness of body parts. As kids learn about safe touch, they become more aware of their body parts, their feeling associated with those parts and what parts are private. It makes them overall more aware of their movement, action, and behaviors. Strengthening the parent-child bond. Parents need to create a safe space for the kids to open and encourage them to share unforgettable feelings that they experience, both develop an unbreakable intimate bond. Children learn that no matter what, they have their parents to support and protect them throughout their life. This helps them in developing more self-confidence and greater sense of security. Unconditional love and respect. Children learn that irrespective of life changes, they will receive love and support unconditionally from their parents. They develop a deeper value and respect for their relationship with their parents. As growing teens in the world, support from guardians help them to realize that their worth and fight when they feel discouraged or physically or emotionally violated. Helping teens resisting sexual pressure. Teens are more likely to have sex if they enter puberty early, socialize with the youngster who approve of and encourage sexual activity, place little value on education, have poor relationship with their parent, particularly with the father, because usually the fathers are not involved in teaching the sexuality to their boys. Recently attended religious instruction or service. Rarely attend religious instruction or services. Better sex education, India's school curriculum. After years of sex education being banned in many Indian states, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi rolled out a sex education program in 2018. This training is vital since India is number 3 in the world in HIV epidemic. This education involved role-playing and actively based modules that are taught by trained teachers and peer educators. Students learn about sexual violence and sexual health among other topics. The whole training program is 22 hours. Each week, the school set aside one period for training. How young is too young? Starting sex education at young age, as young as even a kindergarten. The conversation need to be just about the body parts, good touch, bad touch. It can actually be perfect opportunity to normalize conversation around sex and healthy attitude. When children and young adults view sex and sexuality as a normal human process, they are less likely to fall victim of sexual abuse. The conversations are not explicitly about the sexual act that revolve around love, respect, and intimacy. Building each year to introduce children to different aspects of sexual health is need of time. Teaching methodology in the school. Present curriculum is not properly designed. The school should have counseling facilities for the value-based life skill education to safeguard adolescents. It should be taught in the small group by the same gender, teachers to avoid embarrassment for the both students and teachers in Indian cultural milieu. It is better if the pediatrician and adolescent physician, school counselor are involved to dealing responsibility of teachers for imparting sex education. That is the advice. Barriers to implement and effectiveness of comprehensive sexuality education. Student barrier, motivation, they are not motivated. Completion, safety, attendance. Teacher barrier, time and prioritization, motivation, attitude, example, non-judgmental, facilitation skill, adhere to the curriculum. School leadership, school infrastructure and staff, curriculum, supported policy, supporting resources, teacher training, and support and safe environment monitoring. Socio-cultural norms, gender norms, religious norms, power relation between teachers and students, access to the health services, safe and supportive environment. What we can do? We need to take sex education far more seriously and work on developing a comprehensive sex ed curriculum. It would also be imperative that stakeholder, children, parents, and teachers be involved in creating and designing this curriculum. The emphasis should be on the developing healthy sexual attitudes among young adults and children. By giving adolescents and their parents access to the right kind of information that empower them to make right and informed decisions. Adolescents without access to information in school will turn to the friends, magazines, the internet, the porn, which could lead to confused understanding of sex. 3 steps for talking about the sex. First, find out what your child already knows. For example, where do you think babies come from, or what have you heard about where babies come from? Second, correct any misinformation and give the fact. For example, no, babies don't grow in the mummy's tummy. They grow in the special place inside the mummy called the uterus. Third, use of conversation as an opportunity to talk about your own thoughts or feeling. For example, some people really want to have a baby when they are really, and they other are not too sure about having a baby at all. Dealing with the sexually active teen. It can be a powerful mix of emotion when you realize your teen is sexually active. Your child is now engaging in adult activity that you may worry that they are not ready for. You may be concerned about their physical and emotional well-being. You need to tread carefully to talk with your teen about this. It can turn very quickly and you want to get through to them. Some tips: take some time to process, get partner support, stay calm, let them know if it's not a secret anymore, ask open-ended question. Listen, really listen to them. Keep in mind what it was like as a teenager when you were a teenager. Make sure they are happy with their decision. Remind them they can always change their mind if they are not satisfied. Share feeling about a calm manner. Discuss contraception for their safety. Tell them about the risk involved about HIV, sexually transmitted infection, pregnancy risk, and premature parentalship, emotional ramification of sex. Intervene if the teen is high risk. If the teen has a mental health problem, anxiety, ADHD, depression, substance abuse disorder, or self-esteem issue, you should intervene in their decision. Make a doctor's appointment. It is also a good time to get input of a medical profession. A girl should meet the gynecologist. She may need a pap smear or pregnancy test. A teen should be monitored by a medical professional once they are sexually active to make sure they remain healthy. Remind them they are loved. Conversation about sex can be highly stressful, may come out of it feeling embarrassed, ashamed, or attacked. Remind them that you love them still if they are involved. Key point and message. Teenager romance and relationship are an important part of overall development. Teenager relationship often involve exploring physical intimacy, sexual feeling, and sexual attraction. Open, non-judgmental family discussion about relationship can encourage pre-teens, teenagers to share things with you. Your guidance, support, and acceptance are the important to your child's development, safe acceptance, and well-being. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Tudeja, for that wonderful lecture. And the topic is open for discussion. Comments expected from the seniors and everyone else. Any comments, please?
It was a wonderful session today, sir. As usual, as expected. Actually learned a lot today, especially dealing with a sexually active teen and all. It's really difficult. So it was very useful, sir.
Bigma, sir. Dr. Vijay Kumar.
Good evening, all. Good evening, everyone, Tuteja sir and everyone.
Evening, ma'am.
Oh, madam. Great.
Good.
Sankita ji, namaste. Namaste. So kind of you.
Good evening, Sangeeta, ma'am.
Thank you, Sangeeta madam.
I just love Dr. Tuteja's messages which he gives, and they have got so much maturity and wisdom for everybody to learn from. So that's one thing. And if the chairperson permits, I just wanted to ask him and highlight, how does one go across the globe? We have our Indian parents, our teenagers over there. How do we, should actually we be touching this topic in the international arena or the global arena? Because things culturally are different, age is different, and in our own country there is so much diversification of the whole population. Like you will have urban, rural, and from different backgrounds with different maturity level and wisdom of the parents also. So some of these things, so I just wanted you to just take home messages related to some of these.
Jayaramanji.
Yes, sir. Carry on.
Madam has involved you.
Yes,
I actually, this was with like both Dr. Jayaraman and Dr. Tuteja sir, both can add to with their experience.
Madam, I feel that AHA should take another step through Government of India. As our Honorable Prime Minister has already given signal in 2018 that if through the government we enter into the school to talk through family life education or due to about sexuality, because day to day in print media and in the electronic media, there is so much of sexual abuse is increasing. The whole India has become the educational hub. and the children from the villages are living in the cities. एक स्कूटर के पीछे दो दो लड़कियां बैठ के घूम रही हैं. रात को they are taking the scotch, and they are really involved, and they do not know what they are doing in the country. And as per our Indian culture milieu, it is so disturbing when you are living in an area where hostels are more, and all the residential houses has been converted into the hostels. So it becomes so difficult to see everything since morning to the night. I am really seeing, and I am really, it is so painful that where our culture has gone. Education about, I'm just coming to the point. I am coming to the point. Just
and
giving
then I will also give you some this thing from what is
You have
being
observed.
done from the government level also.
Yeah, yeah.
because I've
So,
been,
so until unless in school and even in colleges, technical colleges and other colleges also should be involved for the sex education. That is the need of the time, because HIV is again increasing, sexual relationship is increasing. Even the girls are on the that side that their contract marriages are happening now. कि तू इतना कमा रहा है, मैं इतना कमा रहा हूँ, अगर बच्चा होगा तो who is going to share? That type of the things are coming up in the society, in Indian society, which we never heard about it. So it is a need that even the married couples, newly wedded couple, needs a pre-conception care, which is a module is going through Dr. Hema Bindu, and is very important. And really, I spoke about it in Femme Petticon, and I think that it should be an open discussion, open forum through the electronic media and even in the print media, that what type of education should be given, and the print media and the electronic media should come up and take this issue very seriously, because otherwise our children will be in depression. After the sexual abuse, so many girls and boys are coming up with that in the mental health issues, you know.
I agree with everything, whatever Sir has highlighted after his talk. There are two things to it. The RKSK program is running by Government of India, and I have been associated with it. And there are very many, through the media, there are very many small NGOs which are looking into these and addressing these issues through the social media itself. So that was very enlightening when we had attended their workshop related to RKSK with all the stakeholders. That was a wonderful workshop which they had done in Delhi 2-3 years back, which we had gone and attended. So people are doing from their level, various organizations are doing. And definitely as an organization, you all know that as Adolescent Health Academy, how much we have also been contributing to awareness and how to handle these issues for the pediatricians. My next this thing which I wanted you to highlight was how should the global and the international parents, people who are living in different parts of the globe, and are how they should be addressing these issues with their teenagers, because the things are very different culturally over there. So that was, I think, another point which we need to address, because they invariably talk to us, being in India as pediatricians, as adolescent experts. So our own family, friends, and relatives, they ask these things, okay, how should we address these issues in our environment?
Madam, in US, there is a class before the 12th standard the children pass. 11th and 12th, they talk about sexuality by the teachers in the schools. So when I was talking to my daughter, talk to them and son-in-law that you talk to your son about the sexuality and start giving some messages to him. So he said that, Papa, it is not needed because there is 11th and 10th, 11th, 12th. They have a class about sexuality education in US, in the schools,
One more
but not
thing,
in our place, you know.
but that is a
Not in
little
Asia,
late.
rather,
If
I
you
would say
say,
to extend not in Asia, but in Western countries, they are giving education in the schools.
the only thing is that it has to start a little earlier, say around when the puberty sets in, or somewhere around that period, around
It should be
between
started from
11 and
pre-teenage,
13.
9 year onwards. We need to give them education minimum.
Exactly.
At least we should start from 9 years onward.
Yeah.
But usually the fathers are not involved, and the mothers do teach the girls about the menstruation and physical development and changes that are occurring, and so that they do not feel awkward. But usually our male partners are not involved, and they feel scared, they are embarrassed or not.
No, I think they feel inhibited. It's very important for the male members to be talking to their son, which I have been
Definitely they
saying
should.
for the past
They should. A
almost
mother cannot talk
a
about it, but
decade.
father should talk to them, to the son at least.
Yes. That is more important, because
That is
then
very
only
important, madam.
that responsibility towards this responsibility and maturity will set in.
Now, if you must have observed, madam, ki even the Bollywood is coming up with these issues, ki how to purchase condom by the girls. There is one film is coming up like that.
Yeah.
Like the Akshay Kumar came with the pad, like that. Now on the contraceptive, there is one film is coming up, and leading role is by a female in that.
Thank you very much, IAP Kerala, so that I could participate. And thank you, Dr. Tuteja, for your wonderful presentation and some discussion and highlights. Thank you very much.
It is pleasure to see you, madam, on this forum. It is really pleasure from our side, not from my side, from my wife's side also, that you are here.
Thank you, Dr. Tuteja, for joining us. We were actually honored to have you with us, and I was really surprised when I got the message from you asking for the link. So thank you so much. Is there anyone else to speak? If there are no other comments, I think Deepa, you take over. Can we close the meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, then we will close for the day. Thank you so
Anupa?
much. Good night.
Anupa?
So, sir, I would like to invite Dr. Said Sabik, Secretary IAP Kozhikode, for the vote of thanks.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Good evening, all the respected senior members of IAP Kerala, and all our respected speaker Tuteja sir. It was a wonderful talk. It actually gave a spark about what we should know about the this adolescents and all, the importance of sex education and all. So it was a very wonderful session. So I would like to thank Tuteja sir for this
Thank you so
session.
much for inviting me.
I think each point told by Tuteja sir it should be discussed in a wider angle. In the current time, it's a very relevant topic. I should also like to thank Jayaraman sir and also Vijay Kumar sir. Then I would like to thank Mohandas sir, President IAP Kozhikode, and also Dr. Deepa Janathan, Secretary IHA Kerala. I would also like to thank Dr. Ranjit and Shibu sir, Chairperson IHA Kerala, and also all the senior members of IAP Kerala who have participated in the event, and also all That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
അതല്ല
Jairam.
നമ്മളൊരു നാളെ കോളേജിൽ ഒരു നാളെ ഉണ്ടല്ലോ.
Thank you, sir. So let's wind up the session today, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you
Deepa.
all.
Thank you for inviting. Thanks so much. We leave the session.
Good to Tejas, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.